Hello everyone, Benevolent History here, and I am giving you another live commentary battle on the grassy flatlands. I'm playing as the Macedonians, and my opponent, Cyrus of the PARSA clan, is playing as the Carthaginians. Now in this battle, I'm trying out a kind of different strategy against the Carthaginians, because I want to see what would because I'm not exactly used to Macedon. Macedon's like probably one of my worst factions in the game. Actually, I'm not good with them at all. Anyway, I'm gonna try out new strategy with the Macedonians. That's basically I essentially just spam heavy cav and some light lances as well to hopefully overwhelm my opponent's cavalry, because I need the cavalry superiority, to win this battle. Really, so that I could protect my archers and be able to kill his infantry in the late game phase. That's what I'm planning to do anyway. And you can see I hit two of my rural pikemen on my left flank because I want them to think that I don't have any infantry, so that at one point in the battle I could just surprise him at any time. Anyway, the main weakness of my army is the fact that I don't have as much infantry, so I don't really have an infantry line to fall back on if my opponent rushes me. I could fall back with my archers, but there wouldn't be anything to stop it, and you could just keep on chasing me. But anyway, still having that much cav with you intimidates your opponent quite a bit. I mean, even if he does have infantry superiority, most of the time your opponent will be afraid of pushing against you, because he knows that his own troops can get isolated. Anyway, my opponent brought I believe 6 slingers, 6 very low upgraded sacred band infantry, also 6 sacred band cav, which is rather intimidating for a Macedonian player, because I find that in a one-on-one fight the sacred band cav will win against Macedonian cav, even though companion cav do have a slight edge in the charge department. The problem is with Macedon, I find overall, is that the Macedonians are kind of frail in the fact that the companions really suck. Macedon's infantry is also pretty weak. I mean, they rout very easily and have very low defense. The only good thing I guess the Macedonians do have over many other factions is the fact that they have long-range archers, but still, using long-range archers effectively is somewhat difficult. Anyway, you can see my opponent split his cav on 2 flanks. I mean, because I have 6 cav and I could easily outpower his sacred band cav, he should really combine all his cav into one force rather than splitting them up. See, you can see here I make a very reckless attack on his sacred band cav. I'm relying on my companion's charge in order to rout his, but sadly for me, all of my companions basically just turn tail and run. I found that interesting when they did that. I mean, yes, his sacred band infantry were approaching, but I didn't expect my companions to rout that easily. Well, I think I overestimated the companions' charge abilities. Now, essentially, at this point in the battle, I basically lost. I guess that's one of the bad things about Rome Total War, is the fact that you can see in just a few seconds I lost my whole companion force, and it's all over for me essentially. And so, yeah, I don't like surrendering, so I just keep on fighting it out until I die. There we go. My general died a very heroic death right in front of all the sacred band cav. Yeah. Wish all my companions were as heroic as my general. Anyway, right now the only force that I have left, my 2 hidden infantry units and basically a lot of my archers, and against heavy cav and the number of infantry my opponent has right now, it's futile. It's futile to just keep on going on, but I still like going on and fighting like this. I guess this battle illustrates the fact that you cannot be too reckless. I mean, for example, Companion Cav and Sacred Band Cav are pretty similar in stats, very similar. And in that case, you should not do what I do. Essentially, I guess when both of your cavalry units are equal, essentially, you should use your infantry in order to support your cav. So I guess my main mistake was separating my infantry away from my cav. While Cyrus, he did not separate his infantry from his cav, so I guess that's why he was able to come out on top. Also, I'm not sure if you caught that there, but you should go back to see that when the general engagement between my companions and his sacred band began, you could see that his general was close by to his sacred band cav, while my general was way on the left flank, so that might have affected my companion cavalry's effectiveness, essentially. Yeah, I guess in an equal cav fight, you should use other units to support your cav, and you should also use your general to stick close to your cav as well, because your general will give you some more morale boosts, and that might turn the tide of the battle, of the cavalry battle, in your favor. So I guess the army that I used as Macedon wasn't bad. It's just that I used it incorrectly in the fact that I overestimated my unit's effectiveness. So I essentially lost the battle in that way. I probably, with an army like that I used, the whole strategy of my army was reliant on winning the heavy cav fight. So I should not have been reckless with that heavy cav, obviously. Anyway, now you can see I only have like one unit left. This unit of Cretan archers, I have no idea how they're still alive, but those 4 guys are going up against a lot of slingers, and then I have one guy left, my only last one. He fires his last flaming arrow, and he gets barraged and dies. Poor dude. He really needs something built in his honor. I mean, he was the last man standing. That's kind of funny. Yeah, and I comment on how I was pretty reckless with my cav. And Cyrus, he's a good player. Not a bad player though. I found that it was kind of risky to bring that many unupgraded Sacred Band hoplites, because if I had brought more upgraded Royal Pikemen, I would have been able to beat his Sacred Band hoplites. So I guess he should have used just 5 Sacred Band infantry, all better upgraded, rather than 6 very lightly upgraded. Yeah, he took advantage of my mistakes effectively, and he kept his infantry close to his cav, which was very good in a close cav engagement like what happened before. I make a few comments to him. Good game to my opponent, good game to Cyrus. He played very well in this battle and just pwned me really badly.